Hello everyone. I'm very happy to be with you today. I am Magdala Ramirez and I come from the Maya Mexica tradition, and today is our first radio talk in 2021. 2021 is such a big archetype because it's a mirror. Everything has to do with the reflection. It's a mirror of 2012. This year, it's about making the realization of the self. This year is intense and powerful, yet there is so much ways to advance this ascension time for the human being everywhere in the world. And we started this year with a wave of the eagle. And it is this trecenas that it is in the calendar Azteca. And every trecena, every 13 days, the ancestors knew about this time and space, but this time about the eagle is different. It's different than any other wave, yet still is the eagle. It's about seeing the higher picture and understanding the higher picture. Eagle is a messenger. And for many tribes, it's about the eagle going into the sun, the heavens. And for other tribes, it's about the eagle coming into earth. It's a messenger that pick up your prayings and take your prayings up. But there is also another message. It has to do with, that they mate for life and they have their own ceremonies too. It gets into a point into the life of an eagle that they go ahead and be by themselves and remove all the feathers and really go within themselves in a big, big manner. And then come out from that isolation. And this is exactly what it is going on with you. You spent 2020 in so much isolation, in so much in those spaces within yourself. And your feathers are beginning to grow again. And this is such a powerful time because you are being shown the higher picture and how to stay connected to the higher picture, not just your little world, but understanding your big world, your new era that it is happening. This time and space, it's about very much enlightening your mind, very much about dropping that little network path that you use all the time, that it has been so completely programmed by the patriarchal system, and reroute those networks into having an open mind and understand that there is a different vision about this. Yesterday we have such a powerful teachings in the school because everything was related with this. We were talking about prophecies, which is that remote viewing, and the incredible ability that you have to tap into that place of the non-time. You must recognize by now that the thoughts are very much being brought by that heart of yours. And as a reminder, you have the two hearts, one heart that it is bonded with experiences of pain and suffering in this lifetime, or even inherited from different parts of your genetic memory, or part of the tribe, or part of the culture. But there is the other heart that it is connected with the multiverse, that it is bringing a new wisdom of what it means to be human, what it means to understand the things beyond that duality and how the it is working for you. When you tap into that other heart, the other heart that it is in perfect alignment with this one, the one that created you, it is giving you a very different vision, a vision that you bring it into your mind. And through that vision, the mind is rerouting. It is expanding. It is recognizing that a perception of reality, it is nothing but a mirror of what it is within your own self. Now, there is reflection and there is refraction. The refraction part about it, it has to do with things that they were already there when you arrive. There is things that you didn't create it. It wasn't from your perception of reality, and yet at the moment that you were indoctrinated through that refraction, your mind begins to adapt to that energy and creating belief systems that support it. Yet, right now, those belief systems are dropping, are falling, because the patriarchal system, it is falling apart. And the new era, it is just beginning to unfold. And with that one, all this belief system that they have no support anymore are being dropped. And a lot of that sensation, it has to do with what now? What is it? If this is not the way of living anymore, then what is it? That's when it comes very handy. That recognition of holding hands with the one that created you. About the Great Mother. You do have the Great Mother power and the Great Father too. God, it is not feminine or masculine, but it is this incredible, beautiful energy that it is the two that has become one, and it has always been one. Yet those two aspects within the self, it can be very amazing to comprehend because that's the duality that it is becoming one. So every perception of reality that you have is just a mirror of what it is inside of your heart. A mirror that you can change it, you can move it from within. That place within is where the whole magic, it is taking place. That place that recognizes that everything, it is interconnected because of love. You can see in the stars. You can even choose a star. And when you look at the stars, it's a pulsation. And when you meditate in that pulsation, you can see those changes within yourself because you begin to change too. You begin to vibrate. You become what you analyze. That place within yourself, you begin to realize the orchestra of the universe. Some of you can even see in a clear night those lines that connects all the stars. Well, those lines are also inside of your brain, connecting all these neural networks, connecting different parts of your brain that in this time and space is beginning to unfold in such a powerful manner. As we have been talking about in previous radio talk, about the expansion of your senses. And you can check on the archives because we have been talking about this for a while now. Now you're gonna put into motion that understanding. That is when you can put it on all these ancient teachings of the Great Mother, that it is coming forward to you. As your senses are expanding, a new perception of reality is coming into being. How do you relate with it? How do you understand it? And as you go in your beautiful flight as an eagle, you are also transmuting all these wrong beliefs or beliefs that they have been limiting your senses for a long time and transmuting it. The perception of reality, it is that mirror that it is within yourself. Look at your family, people that you love so much. What do you feel exactly for each one of the persons? Does it have to do with past experiences, or can you let them free and not related with past experiences, but with this purity of love that you have, that you are? See it with a different perspective and how that relationship is going to change. All your relationships are changing because you are changing. It's not anymore the rules and regulations of being husband and wife. You know, what is the male side? What is the feminine side? But it is moving into much more natural state. And moving into much more natural state is dropping all these rules and regulations that it was imposed on you. There is a higher picture. Can you see it? How do you bring that higher picture into manifestation? Now you know that it is not about a government that governs you and controls you and tell you what to think and tell you how influenced you can be because you have been trained for such a long time to allow that influence because of that emotional body that they install in you. Now you understand that you don't need to somebody or someone to govern you, control you. If you give your power away in that way, you will lose the train. And that place within yourself, when you understand that it is not about control, but it is about enlightenment and reroute your brain. That nobody is there to save you, but it is up to you to raise your consciousness. Only you can do this. It is up to you to be aware of that new heart that it is able to connect with this incredible wisdom. And this incredible wisdom has always been in your own DNA. You have changed the perception of pain. This means that the fear of love, of being in total entrega, of not being afraid of love as it was imposed on you in the patriarchal system, it is bringing this liberation. So you thought for a long time that when you love somebody, it's going to bring pain and suffering. So you were very afraid to love that person and manifest that love within your own self. Be able to forgive. Being able to really forgive yourself too. It is just that love in motion. You're not afraid anymore. You know now that nobody is judging you. Only you are doing that to yourself. You're moving that belief system in such a quick manner. There is no such a thing of punishment by God, as you were told, some of you at least, because that it is not about God to do that. It is up to you that you bring punishment to yourself, so you're moving that one too. Your heart, it is tapping into a higher understanding of who you are. You're remembering. And this radio talks is meant for you to help you to remember who you are. Because the only one that you need to reach is you. So when you understand the higher picture, what do you are very much putting your energy into it? Identities. The identity that you have through pain. You identify with the pain. Then you get stuck in different places in your lifetime. A fragmented self. A fragmentation that it is very much putting your power down. But when you recognize those time and space and see that you are not that experience that you brought to yourself, it is for a learning purposes. Once you learn about it, you are able to detach all these identities that make you repeat the same experience over and over and over again. Maybe you make a recapitulation of 2020. Maybe in those times of the lockdown, you make a recapitulation of your life. And each one of those landmarks that they are emotional are getting healed with a new perspective of love that you are. So your perception of pain has been changing. Do you see this? When you are able to love, no matter what, and not be afraid of that beautiful nakedness of the soul, being yourself, plenty. That is where you find that incredible purpose that you come here to do. Be yourself. This is what it means. Don't be afraid of love. When you liberate those places within yourself, it's very, very important. When you realize, as a perception of reality, the patriarchal system said, well, I will believe it when I see it. That's what people keep on saying. And it is actually backwards. What you're going to see is what you want to believe. What you are choosing to believe, that is exactly what you're going to see. So when you change the belief, you're going to see something different, isn't it? And that is the expansion of your senses. Being able to see. So a new vision is given into you in this time and space. That remote viewing of the time and spaces, that prophecies of the time and spaces, because you recognize that you're not bounded by time. When you work in remote viewing, as we are doing in the school online, in many cases, you will think and have a vision about it, a picture about it, that you can draw it, and you make a question and you have that vision about it, or it can be words, but sometimes it comes through emotions. Suddenly you remember something. Well, that emotion, it is not for you to get stuck in that emotion, but to observe it without the identification, and that is going to help you to see beyond time and spaces, because the spirit does not recognize time and space. You're free. You're not bounded by time, remember? So it can come through those emotions, something, a message, a lesson that you receive in that time and space, in some ways relating with the question that you ask. When you calm yourself and really meditate in that letting go and dropping that little world, you are able to see and listen to a very much higher picture. And that it is bringing a new understanding of the mind, a mind that it is not being influenced by the patriarchal system and devices. I don't know, nowadays it's very creepy everything that it has to do with the influence. Nobody can tell you what you're gonna think or what you're gonna feel. Only you can do this. Liberation is at hand. Once you learn how to use your mind, it will be a very different story. Once you know how to think and control your thoughts, what do you really want? Listening to your thoughts, but also bringing awareness to your feelings, being awareness to your emotions, because your emotions are the one that it is dictating the choices. So recognize yourself as that love that you have always been. And through that love, heal those places within yourself that is still is linked with that little picture, that little world of yours. That little world is only creating linear time that doesn't exist. That doesn't really matter. But when you see that higher picture and make that entrega through love, the reflection, it will be a very, very different story. Put attention to that bigger understanding of yourself. Take advantage of this wave for 13 days to really meditate into mastering that place that nowadays they call it remote viewing. When the ancestors, they call it the new vision. In the old days, there were many ceremonies for vision. People go into vision quest just to receive that vision, how to guide the people, how to bring this flowers, they call it the wisdom, the world. You go into the world of the enchanted flower and bring the flowers to the people, the wisdom. There were many other ceremonies about women, the dreaming women, that they will make a ceremony all together, women, that they will dream a new world, a new place that the whole community needs to move into it. They will dream about what is it and where to go and how to do this. What is your ceremonies about that? I'm giving this one to you. You are one. And that interconnection, it is within your own self. Remember that our school online, it is open. Thank you for your work. Everyone in the world nowadays is working with yourself. And we are providing so many beautiful lessons that it will help you to see a different perspective of yourself and let it go, all this patriarchal system, and understand a higher culture of what it means to be human. That involves all the traditions and all the cultures. There is only one knowledge everywhere in the world. The true human being has always been within yourself, and it is your time to remember. So go to my website, magdalas.com. That is MAGDALAS.com. And send me an email. Send me your registration if you have any questions. Thank you for your work. Tlatsokomati, Tlatsokomati, Tlatsokomati. I am you. I am Magdala.